Mike Bohn joined now by Lone'er Kavanagh, who fights in the UFC Mexico main event Saturday against Brandon Moreno. Lone'er, how are we doing? Your first main event fight week. This must feel like it's a pretty big deal for you.
Yeah, I'm good and I'm excited.
Yeah, man. How long have you been down there for in Mexico City?
I've been down here for over a week now. Just getting used to the different setting.
Yeah, of course. How would you describe these past few weeks? I mean, relatively short notice, but a lot of changes, other side of the world, elevation, 5 rounds. Like, how do you feel you've dealt with what you've been given here so far?
To be honest with you, I feel like we've dealt with it very well. I have such a sick team behind me, and we've dealt with it every step of the way.
Yeah, what was your reaction when they called you for this fight? Obviously, this wasn't the original main event, but you seem like a guy who always stays ready. What was kind of the first thoughts when you heard this opportunity was being presented to you?
Just excitement. I pray for opportunities like these, and to get one, you have to take.
Yeah, what do you think has been the biggest challenge of this? Like just fighting Brandon himself. The 5 round preparation, the elevation preparation. Like, can you kind of walk me through how you've gotten ready for all these things?
Yeah, for me, like obviously all these come into a factor, but for me, it's about just making myself as good as I can and to better myself in every way. And I feel like I've done that throughout this whole fight camp. I feel like I've done that since my last fight. So I'm just excited now to show what I can do.
Yeah, what were kind of some of the most important things for you that you felt you had to focus on coming out of that last fight?
There's loads of things to focus on. Guard, concentration, S&C, everything. Like I said, I just want to make myself better in every single discipline to make myself a better fighter. And that's what I have done.
Yeah, definitely. What do you just make of Brandon at this point in his career? I mean, I know he was frustrated by the last fight and the stoppage and everything, but he looked great in the fights before that. But he's been in the top of this weight class for obviously a very long time, being champion multiple times. What do you think of where he's at this stage?
Yeah, Brendan's a legend. And he seems like a nice guy as well. And for me, it's just when these opportunities come, you take them. And this is what I want. These are the moments I live for. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, of course. Do you even have time to, I guess, like overthink this scenario? Like, is this almost the best case? I hear some guys when they say like their first big opportunity, it's kind of better when it's thrown at you a little more quickly like this, so you maybe don't have the time to overanalyze things.
Yeah, sort of. For me, it's like I trust my team. I trust my team with everything. So that whatever they say, I do. And this is an opportunity that is just, you know, you don't turn down.
Yeah. Before this came to you, what was kind of your hopes and expectations of what was going to be next? Like, were you looking at a fight in London, or what was kind of in your mind as far as what you were thinking was going to happen?
So I was already scheduled to fight 2 weeks before, sorry, 2 weeks later anyway,
Mhm.
in Las Vegas. So nothing's really changed. I was already in camp. My weight was good. So nothing's changed in that sense.
Okay, very interesting. What do you just? I know it's very early in the fight week, but you've been there for like a week so far. What are you expecting over these next few days in fight week? Obviously, Brandon is loved and a hero there. Are you kind of embracing the bad guy role a little bit here?
I'm not a bad guy. I have love for Brendan as well. I think he's good, but I have one mission and I'm here to do that. You know, so I'm just excited for the week. I get to do this. This is an awesome place to be.
Yeah, for sure. No, of course, I didn't mean that you're a bad guy in any way. You seem like a great guy. Just more so meant like, are you
Thank you.
embracing the fact that the crowd is probably going to be booing you and like all you're here to kind of play spoiler a little bit?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I mean, what do you think a win here does for your career? We just saw, Tatsuro Taira get a title shot for beating Brandon Moreno. So what are you thinking beating this guy's going to do for you?
It's life changing, and it solidifies myself within the top five,
Hmm.
and within that. And for me, again, like I said, I'm here to get to the top as quick as possible, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do this. And this is what it takes.
Yeah, man, this division is red hot right now. Like one of the very best in the UFC, and it's so amazing to see because obviously we know the story of how it was kind of on the verge of being on the way out a few years ago. What do you just make of kind of the state of things? All these young guys coming through. You're kind of this next crop of dudes that are rising to the top.
Yeah, it just makes me excited. like you said, the fact that a few years ago there were talks about the flyweight division not being a thing, and the fact that obviously being a little bit biased, I think it's the best division in the UFC. It's forever moving, it's exciting. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, were you surprised that they went with Tyra for the next title shot? I mean, I know we all know Pantoja deserves the opportunity whenever he's healthy, but there's Manel Kape out there, Kyoji Horiguchi, lots of options out there. So, what did you think of them ultimately going with Tyra?
Like you said, I think there's a lot of options, but I don't think there's a right or wrong option. It's just what the UFC felt was right to do, and I agree as well. You know what I mean? Any one of them could have got a title shot, just so happened to be his name put out the hat.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting one. I mean, I think it's, if not one of the youngest title fights, like combined age, we've had in UFC history, definitely in this division. How do you see it going between Van and Tyra?
Well, it's a tough one. I rate both of the boys. You know, I think they're both good. I feel like it's hard to say stylistically. Maybe Tyra has the advantage, but you can never write a man out. You know.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about all those names, the guys who aren't getting the shot, with them setting up this fight. Do you feel like a win here and you're kind of in the conversation to fight one of these guys who's kind of the odd man out of the title picture, so to speak?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah. What would be your best case scenario for this year in terms of like how many times you fight?
I'd like to fight. I'd like to stay active. You know, hopefully after this fight, I'd fight at least two more times. So, for me, it's about one fight at a time. But I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah. And I guess just lastly, kind of on this fight, I mean, like we said, a huge opportunity. What do you think you're going to be able to show in this spot that you haven't shown in the UFC yet, just because you have such a high profile opponent? You have 5 rounds to work now instead of 3. Like, what are we going to learn about you in this fight, you think?
I'd like to show that I'm always improving. I'm forever adapting. You know, and I'm excited to show what I can do Saturday night.
Yeah. Brandon's historically, extremely durable in there. I know he got stopped in the last fight, but do you see a path to finishing him, whether it's a knockout or submission here? Or do you think it's going to be like a tough 5 round fight?
No, for me, I'm ready for wherever the fight goes. Obviously, I'm also always looking for the finish. So I feel like I'm prepared for all scenarios. But I'm always looking for a finish. You know.
For sure, man. Awesome. Well, it's great to talk to you here today. And
Yeah, but
obviously, very cool that you're stepping up on this opportunity, and hope to see you take advantage of it, man. So thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
thank you for having me.
All right. Have a great day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.